Hello and welcome everybody to the Beacon of Light podcast tonight. Check it out. We have an in-house guest. Well, what really happens is I went over and visited her place because mine's a little snug right now. Anyway, so welcome everybody to the Beacon of Light podcast. And tonight we have Miss Sunni Hearin, and I'm so excited that she's here tonight because we have a great show for you. It's been about 5 months since you last visited the show. So before we start talking to her, and she's like right here, we're going to pop into this.
I'm April Tribe Juke. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. I believe we are all made with light, and light is hope. This podcast brings authors who write stories of hope to all of you. Your journey to be inspired and amplified by these stories starts now.
Hi, everybody, and we're back. So we're here live in Sunni's studio. Yay!
Welcome, April.
I know,
Thanks
right?
For coming over.
So, we're only like 9 houses away. So you gotta do this when you can going live. So we're really excited, and we have some people here watching. Hello, Richard. Thank you so much for popping up here.
It's my dad.
Live tonight. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody. So
Hi,
hey,
Jan.
Jen's here. Hi,
Jan's
Jen.
here.
Welcome. So Miss Sunni here. Sunni is going to be talking about going live and selling physical product. And who's authors out there? Hands up. Let's check it out. Okay. If you are out there and you have a product like a book, well, you have a physical product to sell. And so we're going to discuss a lot tonight about why it's so important to go live. And Sunni has a brand new book called Live Selling Secrets. So this is really exciting. And as her editor, it's been really fun to read through it, learn a lot. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take some notes down here. I promised I didn't plagiarize. I promise. I promise
I'm
that
not
we,
worried.
we just went live. So this is an exciting time. And so welcome everybody to the show. So let's pop in here and let's talk to Miss Sunni and tell us why it's so important to go live.
Well, before we do that, April, of course, thank you so much for being my neighbor and being my amazing editor, of course. So guys, if you're on the fence about getting with April and having her edit your book, just don't even hesitate. Just click any link she gives you, set up a time, make sure you're a right fit for her brand. She's been amazing. Jan is asking, can I share this now? I would say yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, Jan, please share this. That would be fantastic. So when April told me, when we talked about the pre-show, what we're going to talk about tonight. So as you guys know, you probably watched our episode back in July where April was gracious enough to have me on the show the first time. So last time we talked about like the 4 principles that are inside of the book of my book, Live Selling Secrets. So this is not the final copy, but this is kind of like a prototype that we had mocked up. Basically, it's called Live Selling Secrets. And this is actually, believe it or not, this is only one chapter of my book, which is this particular chapter was 76 pages. It ended up being a workbook. It's 600 pages single-sided. It's 300 pages on the 8.5 by 11. It's going to be about 2 inches thick. And we can't wait to get it published. We're about 8 days out from uploading the final, right?
Yes. Yes, we are. We've just
about
been
8
tweaking
days
the
away.
little bits, pieces there. And so we are going to be ready this new year. Y'all, you will be going live like crazy. And Sunni's going to be
going live.
So
basically, I'm going to just do a really quick recap of what we talked about last time, April. And what I cover obviously in depth inside the book is that I have a 4-part methodology. So when we go live, a lot of times people, a lot of us just don't know any better. And I'm someone who didn't know any better either in the beginning. And that's why it's kind of funny to me that I became the expert at this, because I really never, ever thought that I would become the expert and the one to bring this to the marketplace. I am like the last person who thought that I would ever go live and become an expert. I had a coach in 2000, I think it was 16 or 17, who told me he's earned 10 or 20 million dollars. His name is Vince Reed. He's a digital marketing expert. He's in my book. And he said that we went to a conference and he said, if you do not go live, I mean, if you're a business owner and you do not go live, you will be left behind. And I wrestled with that for a really long time because I knew what he said was true. And I just didn't want to believe it because I just thought, I don't know anything about it. I don't know what to say. I'm terrified to go live. And I don't know what to say. And I don't want to look stupid. And so for the same reasons, probably all of you guys out there don't go live. I didn't go live either for 2 or 3 years. Or if I did, I went live just like once a year for 3 minutes. And it was just like little here and a little there. Fast forward in the last 3 years where I started helping an Etsy seller who's, Etsy is known for its selling of physical products. So small business owners, or not just small business owners, but like business owners who handcraft a lot of handmade items can upload their listings onto Etsy. And a lot of them don't know, it's not their fault. Nobody knows how to do, digital marketing. So I reached out to one of them. His name is Keith Cerrone of Keith Cerrone Glass Art. And we didn't know the pandemic was coming. So it was right before the pandemic in 2019. And I said, hey, can I work with you and get you a result in exchange for a testimony, which is common when you're a digital marketer. You need to work with the brand to get a result. And part of that journey in that first year we were together, we've been together for 3 years now. We said our third year anniversary in business is that about the 10th month in, I said, well, what would happen if we created a Facebook group? And what if you went live in the group? And we didn't know what that meant. It didn't make any sense to us because he was like, well, you mean it'll be like a buyer's club? And I said, you know what? I really don't know. Let's just build it and see what happens. And so I talk about the journey in the book is how we started going live and balancing. And that's something I want to talk about with you guys tonight too, is balancing your offer of what you're selling with content in a 50-50 manner so that your audience doesn't feel like you're just trying to take from them. So in other words, you're also giving them what they need, because what'll happen is if you create content that they want to hear, that's, specific to their needs and their problems, they will draw closer to you. And so when it comes time to offer a book or a low dollar or something, or even a high dollar, it's not offensive. It won't be a big violation of trust like we talked about before. It won't be like, how dare you, offer, try and get me to, to buy your $15 or whatever your product is. So the first part that there's 3 pieces tonight we want to address, and it's hard in under 30 minutes. So the first piece is, why do we need to go live? Okay. So let me just segue that comment into, you have to start going live if you want to stand out. You could create an entire brand behind just doing static images and hiding like I used to do, but it's going to take you either forever or not at all. You're just going to go whoop, and you're going to just mosey right along, because really you're just hiding behind images. And people, you're the expert, and you wrote the book. You're the author. You wrote the book. They want to hear from you. And what ends up happening is, just like when you look on your television set and you perceive the people on TV as experts, or you see people with a YouTube channel, they're an expert. You are also that expert. So in your mind, you're thinking, well, I'm not the expert because I don't know how to do the thing. But they don't really care about how you do the thing. They only care about how you treat them. And that's right. And it's about building the community behind it.
Yeah, building that community is so important. I mean, why y'all show up here, right? Because we know we're getting the messages out. You can share lots of different opportunities there, and then reaching out. We try to go live at least 1 time, 2 times, 3 times a week, right? Sure, there's some images. Sure, there's questions, and those are posting things to help give supports. But really, it's really like a friendship and a communication. Back in the day, it was just the good old Post-it stamp. No. That doesn't fly anymore. We really can't hide, like what Sunni said. We can't hide behind our images. We need to get out there. And being out there, what's going to happen? Mistakes. Yep. What's going to happen? Real life. Yep. How many of y'all have seen the little finger pokey on my shoulder, like when we're going live, or the little head that's popping in, Mom, I didn't get my dinner, right? That's live stuff and it happens. And so I think people see that best sign ever, vulnerability, right? And the idea is that, oh, okay, I can relate to you. You're still an expert, but you're not untouchable.
Yeah.
If I might say, and sorry for this analogy, you're not the Oprah, where she's untouchable.
Yeah.
This is like right here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So knows how to do all these things and she's real or he's real, whatever it is, whomever that you follow. And so that's that idea, right? Sunny, is that when we go live, we start this communication and opportunity for people to really get to know us and not just our images with our words. We're like blending it all together.
Yeah. So ideally, social media in general, and so different people might have different definitions of social media and like what it is or how to use it properly, like even for marketing or sales. And there are lots of different ways to use social media. But what I teach is in the book and stuff, as we talk about, is you should be using all these free social medias as a tool, right? You want to build a bridge to connect between you and your audience, right? Like, so the goal shouldn't necessarily, yes, the goal is to get sales, but it shouldn't necessarily be to get sales like this moment, right? Most people need anywhere from 5 to 12 exposures to your brand before they're willing to even purchase from you. So if we just take a different approach, and we call it like a warm market approach, where we just like relax into our message and say, you know what, I'm going to be here every single, let's say Tuesday. I'm going to be here every Tuesday, like you, right? Perfect example. She shows up every week. She provides valuable content, and those who will hear her message will be gravitated towards her. And eventually, and long as she's consistent with her message and occasionally or every week decides to offer different products, it's not offensive because there is a value exchange that has happened.
Right. And in that value exchange, that's really what why do you go shopping the places that you do? You find the value there, right? Well, there's just hundreds and thousands of other types of values that you can find. And so trust your gut, follow them, see what's happening, build that communication and trust. And you will find that your message really starts to touch people. Our friend here, Louise Pistol, she just popped up, and her whole message is about joy and gratitude.
Yeah.
And a lot of people gravitate towards that. She has been popping up live. She has been allowing the value to come forward. She's got lots of books. My goodness, I think she has like six books now. So the idea is that it started off and she was nervous and she was scared. I know, help with coaching with her. And the whole concept is now she's just jumped on. And every day you're going to see some type of an image, and at least weekly something going up live. And that is big. So way to go.
Congratulations, Louise.
Yeah, you are doing
congratulations.
Awesome. So many of you out there who are watching this today, you can really think about, okay, we've got the end of the year. It's 2023 coming up real soon. So what can be my plan? How could I do what I have with my content, right? And now going live, because you said it was muy importante.
Yep.
So what are we going to do next?
Well, okay, so I'm going to get that in just a second. I thought of something else that's very, 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 very important. Okay, so a lot of times when I work with small business owners, even people who sell on an everyday basis, okay, there's a little bit of emotional and mental work that needs to be done when you're going live. So one of the things that we run into all the time as a coach for live selling is that there is usually there is an inner dialogue. There is a message that is, we call it in the book, I talk about it. It's called sales shame, which means in the past, there is a disconnect inside of you emotionally that you may or may not be consciously aware of it. And what that means is, so, you might have a problem going live and promoting. You might say, oh, I don't want to go live. But what's really happening is you have an internal issue with asking for money, because your money blueprint was what they call when you're younger, like maybe somebody told you that only rich people have money, or you've just accident it, and it can be fixed, but it takes a little bit of work, right? So there's a way over it and around it. So it's an obstacle that just sits there, and it's the first obstacle almost every single person I coach has to deal with, which is their inner self. So we need to get to the root of that in the first couple of lessons and find out, like, what is your thoughts on money? How long have you struggled with it? And, if you're having a hard time offering. And so I really encourage to use the words offer and share a whole lot. So what we want to do to get around it is we need to completely disconnect. And this is the hardest part, April. We need to disconnect ourselves from the outcome of the sale of the book or whatever it is you're selling. In other words, it doesn't matter. You have to get yourself into a place where you say, you have to trick your brain, where you say, hey guys, I'm going to go live tonight. And you know what? It doesn't matter if I sell anything or not. And you just need to have a good time, and you need to dial up your energy, and you just need to deliver your message. And if you do that and you disconnect from the angst or the pain of the, oh my gosh, I need to make 5 sales tonight because I need to pay my light bill or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. Been there, done that. Hey, Louise, you just need to, if you can get away from that, you will have a fantastic show. And that is actually one of my secrets. It's not so secret, but it is, because a lot of people don't know how to disconnect from it.
Right. And what's so interesting as people communicate together, when something is, I'll say the word off, or something's up, right?
Yeah.
And if we're desperate people really put this subconscious aura out there, or message out there. So if you must, I've gotta right now, it comes through, even though you might not ever say those words.
Yeah.
So you just disconnect that, drop it there, provide the value, and enjoy what you're doing. And in that part,
and if
wow.
And if we make it, let's just make it into a really real analogy. I took my dad out to Red Robin yesterday, right, for lunch. Can you imagine if your waitress came over to you and was desperate for money, and they were like, are you going to order? Because I really need my tip. Like you would be feeling really weird about your experience. You'd be looking at your waitress like, or hey, here at Red Robin, we really need to pay our bill this month. So it's really important to us that you order. Like, are you guys going to order? Like, you're ready to pounce on them, right? So, and that's what accidentally happens if we don't get that first piece. So I think everybody gets the point, but I just wanted to lay that out there, because that is what is holding a lot of people up internally. Like, the tech stuff can be learned simply, right? Like turning on the camera and learning the Zoom. Yes, it's a learning curve, but anybody can do that. But not everybody can get around their sales shame and their money blueprint if they're not willing to do that.
Right. So really start asking you those questions about how can I get around it? Well, I always say there's 2 things to anything. You got to take action and start practicing.
Yep.
And I know, sorry, it wasn't this neat, magical, where's my one? Wingardium Leviosa kind of thing. Because it's just, it takes the action and the practice to really realize, oh, it's okay. Look, I didn't die. It's okay.
Yeah.
And, well, that's fun. Bonus, I got to sell. And those things will start to happen more rapidly.
Yep.
When you put the other part aside, disconnect from that, and just really enjoy what it is you're doing. So authors out there, why did you write your book in the first place? You had a message, right?
Yep. To get your message
you
out.
You wanted to share and sell something. You wanted to touch someone's life. And I've heard over and over as an editor, if this book touches one person, I've done my job. Okay. Yay. Oh, look, it touched more people now. Because the more you can share it out there with that idea of, if you want to just reach one, then you've got it, and keep going, and things are really going to happen. All right, let's go to that content, Miss Sunny.
Okay.
What's
so
up?
the first part that we covered, just a quick recap. The first part we covered was why it's important to go live. The second part we covered we're doing it right now, which is the content, right? So we want to talk about a little bit more about what does it mean to have content with your brand. So a lot of times, I believe, I'm new to this particular author community, but from what I can tell, most people are very specifically writing their book about one particular topic. Would you say that's
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is true. So you
Okay.
have something that you really want to share, and it usually narrows into a group of people like
right?
so.
So what I would recommend, so what we want to do is we want to build a broad base of, we're going to build a community. So what I would do is, if I was working with you, I would say, well, let's map out content for the next 12 months. And it doesn't have to be granular. It doesn't have to be all at the same time. And if it's too much to handle, let's just only do the next 90 days. Let's just break it down into little pieces that are bite-sized. And let's figure out a way that, like, so you want to take, since most of the books that are written they're either niche or sub-niche, we want to go up 2 or 3 levels, right? And we talked about this last time on your last show. So let's say if like Jan has some books about horses, right? So, and being in the horse community. Now they're very niche to interacting with horses, if I understand correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would do was we would go up 2 levels and we would say, okay, well, I'm just calling it 2 levels. We would say horses is the main overarching idea of the group, right? So we would want to create some generalized content at the top. We call it the top of the funnel, and that gets horse lovers' attentions, right? And we could even make it niche content that is about her thing, but primarily we want to keep it a little bit more generalized in the beginning. So it might be like 7 ways to. Now I believe Jan's stuff is how to have a correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a spiritual connection with your horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So with something like that's so niche, right, and very personalized, I would recommend that when you go up those 2 levels, you would create content that says something like, you might start with something like 7 ways to calm. Yeah, Jan, this one's for you. 7 ways to, calm your horse in the stable. 2 of these you may not have heard of, right? So although it's not quite the niche, you want to save like the niche piece for, as they get to know you, because sometimes if you come out with that message directly, just like with live selling, if I bonked you over the head and I said, you may not like, everything I have to say right out of the gate, I have to ease you into the message. And that is the purpose of having a long-term, like if you're feeding a baby, hopefully you don't just like take all the baby food and just ram it down their throat on the first day, right? You have to spoon feed, and then they have to decide if they like it. And if they do, they want more. And I know that's super basic, but it's just basically, that's kind of how we want to treat your community. Not that they're babies, but so what you would do is start creating a piece of content. So let's say Jan was starting to go live each week, and then she'd create a piece of content or a topic. And it's like, or she could even say, hey guys, this month we're going to talk about 7 ways to keep your horse calm in the barn. And then on the first Tuesday of every month, you share 2 of those, 2, and we're looking at like, the month now, right? We're creating content. So we would do 2 secrets, 2 secrets, 2 secrets, or whatever, and make it 8, whatever you want to do, right? But then now you've got a topic. Now you have a structure, and now your audience is not overwhelmed because you're trying to cram all 7 secrets, in one night. It's been proven that people can't learn more than 3 things at a time anyway, in general. So it's got to be like high level, like just like these episodes with April, they're shorter, high level. They can't be like super, 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 in depth. That's how you nurture people down your funnel over time. And then, give them an offer to your book. So again, like in Jan's example, let me just try and wrap this up. So I would do like, 2 ways to calm your horse in the barn or whatever. And then at the end of her topic, let's say she has a 30-minute time slot. You give the examples, you educate, right? Then at the end, you say, if you're Jan, you say, hello, everyone. Thanks again so much for coming out tonight, guys. I really appreciate you being my audience. And, you address them and say, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You appreciate me. If so, I wrote a section in my book about when to use the words if and when. So you could say something like this. You could say, if you want to take next steps, because then that's not aggressive. That's not like bonking them over the head, right? Like that's just saying, if you guys are interested in learning more, you can click the link below. Like, so just pretend I'm Jan. You could click the link below and pick up a copy of my book.
Right. Very simple, non-threatening. And it's right there. You've made an offer there, and it is an if in it. It's not a big, worrisome type of thing. You guys have a message out there, and I really want to be able to amplify what it is that you share. I mean, yeah, I go live, but I can't repeatedly go live with everyone every single week just to, help you sell your one brand. Mine is a snapshot. So we've got to get get it out there and connect with the author community, because maybe somebody will have something where you're like, I have been needing that topic, or, oh, I wanted to write about that. Now I can read that book to figure out, now I know what to do to add to my story.
Mm-hmm.
Or, oh my goodness, my mom has been wanting to hear something about this. So now this author wrote the book. Now I can provide that information to my mom, whatever it is, right? Yeah. The community is here for y'all. So that whole idea is, when you put it together in the small pieces with the if, and just click the link, it's right there as part of just how the community even is built up in the first place. So, any questions out there with the content or anything like that? You guys are doing awesome out there. We wanted to get to our last part here. We're kind of running up on some time. So, Sunny, now that we've kind of discussed why it's important to go live, and how the content can, overlay with that. Our third part is really like, what is something that you feel this audience could really use? A few of the people here, and probably some of my future cast people coming on in. Yeah. What is it that you want to share with them? That's right.
Hashtag replay.
What's one of those secrets that you want?
Well, I've given away a couple already, right?
True that.
Okay, so I guess I would say that this idea of balancing the offer with the content. Okay, so I put a little picture of a tightrope walker on a tightrope in my book, in this particular chapter. And I really pushed the point, and I think you enjoyed this part too, because it's great because April is not in my head, but she's reading the book in real time. So I get to ask her, April, what do you think of that section? April, as a physical products. Well, you sell products, but like, you know what I mean? Like I go live way more selling products all the time, more than she does. So it's good to get that feedback. But the emphasis is, I would love to leave you guys with is, I want you to pretend that that you are the tightrope walker, and you have that balancing pole. Okay. So on the left-hand side, you've got your content, and on the right-hand side, you have an offer. Okay. So I know that just most people in general don't like to offer. So right now the poll is like this, right? So what can we do to get you to start going live a little bit more and start sharing valuable content that will even up that poll in your mind, so that you're a little bit more stable in your communication? And also, don't be afraid to let people know immediately when they first join your brand. Hi, my name is Sunny. Oh, and by the way, I have a book. If you ever want it, I have a book. Like that right there. And I was guilty of just, never, ever. I did the same thing. So I'm not here to judge anybody, because I refused to tell people that I had a thing for sale, like for years. And I had a $200 course for sale, and I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I was just terrified. So I get what you're saying. I feel you. I've been there. I've done that. That's why I think it's funny. I'm the one to bring this message to market. But sometimes that's just how it works, right?
Right. That's how we get our expertise, is through the experience, right? And so that whole understanding and concept, we really want our communities to know that there is an offer here, there is value here, and together it's what makes things happen. It's really tough to go to a store and just wander around for the experience and not leave the store without maybe what it is you came in there for or wanting to search for. Think about any time, I mean, as simple as grocery shopping, right? There's a goal and a point, and that's why you head in that direction. Now, some of the great sales that might pop into your basket were there because they caught your eye, and that's fantastic. But you still went there knowing that you were going to purchase something. When you come to these communities, know, and don't be offended, that they're probably going to be selling something, most likely a book. And I kind of laugh at this. Like, some people will blow $800, $1,000, $5,000 on coaching programs. I'm not saying that's not worth it. Hear me out. Authors, you have a book that's usually $20 or less.
Yeah.
And if your community is like, oh, can you believe they asked me to buy a $20 book? I'm so offended.
Yeah.
Let's just get some perspective on that.
Well, and all throughout my book, and you were probably sick of looking at it, but all throughout my book, I made a point. Do you remember my quote all throughout my book? Do you remember it? Some will, some won't.
Some will. That's
so
right.
So what? Some will, some won't. So what? Literally, there are millions and millions and millions of people around on the internet, and we just need to just put those marketing goggles on for a second. You know, even if you don't wear them full time, just put them on for a quick second, and hear what I'm saying. Like, if you might have a little bit of resistance if you have an existing community and you start doing an offer, you might get 1 or 2 or 3 people who are suddenly offended, but I promise you will not miss them when you suddenly have 30 or 40 or 50 who join, who say, hey, when are you writing that next book? Hey, when are you going to write the next guide? And that's another example, April. Like, I know I kind of overdid it on my first shot here, but like, as far as like page count of the first book, it's 606 pages at this point. But one of the things from a marketing point of view, I just want to drop this idea too, is I segmented all of the chapters so that the majority of my chapters can become standalones. Now, I know that everybody's in different genres, right? And let's say, Louise has her joy stuff. And forgive me, Louise, because I don't know everything that you've already done or have not done. But like, what is stopping her from doing another journal, right? A joy journal, and just doing like a high level one that didn't take very long. Maybe it took 30 days to get it done. And now you've got 2 products, right? Now you've got your book. And like, I went on my way to mastermind my book so that this will be uploaded. This is just chapter 10 in my book. This is just 1 chapter. And there's reasons for that. And then I'm going to upload just chapter 9. And then I'll probably do a bundle later. Of course, I'll have the whole book for sale as well. But, nothing better than one thing for sale is multiple things for sale that attract the same market, right?
Right, because then you've got options,
segments.
You've got that idea of, I just need this one piece.
Yep.
And so, authors, I'm hoping that this just allowed you to do some good think time. And again, we want to really thank Sunni for being here this evening.
Well,
and
thank you.
You're welcome. And her book is Live Selling Secrets.
Yes.
And so really, this applies to, if you are online, this applies to you, because eventually, if you don't already have it now, you're going to be selling something. And it's that idea that it doesn't have to be so separate or pigeonholed. Oh, I'm not selling glass pumpkins. I don't need her book. No. The idea is this marketing, the connection, the building of the community. Again, just think about your own life. Why do you go shopping at X? Yep. Why does this store always bring you back? And just think about it. Well, don't you want your brand to do the very same thing? So, anyway, we're so excited about this opportunity for y'all. And your book's going to be printed out, published in just a few days, about 8 days away. Yep. So especially exciting for that new year.
Yep.
Think about things where you have some time off. I know as a teacher, I'm going to have some time off.
Yay.
Ooh, have to say that. And I'm really going to be thinking about setting up things for my 2023 year. And what do I want to see? Now, doesn't mean it's all going to happen. I don't know. I just know that if I never set something up,
right,
nothing will happen.
Right.
I know that.
Right. And I'm here to make sure she does it.
That's right. I mean, look how close we are. This is just crazy, right? It's just crazy. So it's really exciting. And we're just so glad that y'all came in here tonight. Again, her name is Sunni Hearin. So come in, see her. What's her book? What's her book, everybody? Live Selling Secrets. So
and
get
actually,
it.
the subheading is the top secret formula for 10xing your physical product sales online. So, yeah, and that's a proven metric that we've
This girl
proven.
doesn't mess. I'm telling you, when she finds the proof, believe me, we're going through the notes. We got proof
Oh
here.
yeah, we sure
We
did.
got
Thank you.
evidence here.
Thank you for that.
All right, y'all. This is great. And so thank you for so much for coming. I want to wish you all a happy Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. And enjoy your weekend with your family. Think about things and watch for those smiles. See how sometimes those physical products really give them that joy. And if your message can be married in with that, you're in. So think about it. Enjoy your time. Set your plans. We're here. And you know me, I'm popping up every Tuesday night going live. See you all later. Thank you so much for joining the Beacon of Light podcast this evening. And soon, when we get all of her information with all of the printables, you can go ahead and grab it. I know we've had running on the ticker underneath here, livesellingsecrets.com. You can go there and leave a message and she can get right back to you.
It's the wait list.
And it is the wait list. So get on there and, we're going to get this out to you. So it's a really exciting time. We'll see y'all. Thanks so much, everybody, for giving support.
Thanks for coming out.
We'll see ya. And bye-bye.